want to beat 90% of the other letting agents out there and do the one thing that 90% of them are not, and it's the thing that the whole business world is absolutely embracing on a monumental scale right now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about data capture. I'm talking about building a database. I'm talking about you building a CRM system, not the thing that you put your landlords and tenants on. I'm on about a marketing database, a CRM of prospects, to build a database of all the landlords in your town. Why are we not doing that? Over the last few years, I've found it astounding that letting agents are just not putting their efforts into building a database. And yet I bet every time you go and buy something from a shop, they want your email address. Why? Data capture. Every time you want to try a bit of software out online, what is it? They want your email address. Why? Data capture. Every time you get on the train and you want to log into Wi-Fi, you've got to set up an account. Why? Data capture. Guys, this is going on every single place, everywhere across the world right now. Why? Because data is the new gold. And how are you doing? Have you got a database of all of the landlords in your town? If not, now's the time to get in the saddle, because if you do that, you will be pushing yourself ahead of over 90% of the letting agents out there. They're just not doing this. The only data they have is when someone booked a valuation, when someone booked a viewing. It's on their CRM and then it drops off when they're not actually going to instruct them. They're not building a prospecting database. So I'm going to be sharing with you some tips here as how you can build your own landlord database so that you will never run out of people to call. Your listers will never be able to say to you again, "I've rang everybody, Sally, there's nobody left." You will always be able to have people to email, to call, to nurture, to invite to webinars, seminars, soirees in your office. You can build a whole marketing campaign once you have a database. But without that, you're always chasing the bird in the bush. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't have a database, you'll constantly be every single month chasing new traffic, chasing new people, chasing new landlords, waiting for that phone to ring, for the leaflets to magically work, or for some properties to appear on Rightmove. You're constantly chasing. We've got to get away from this, guys. That is how you end up in a feast and famine. One month you get quite a few landlords, next month nothing. So let's stop that right now. So what's the first thing you need? Hey, simple, you need a bit of database software. You could use so many different ones: Drip, MailChimp, Infusionsoft. Doesn't matter. The one we're recommending at the moment is Drip, but hey ho, whichever, it doesn't matter. You need a CRM system that you can start to capture data. That's number one, CRM system. Number two, you need a mechanism to fill that database, okay? So what we're looking for is different ways that you can get people to opt in to your database. And please, I don't want to see anybody doing opt-in to my newsletter. It's not 1985 anymore, okay? So how are you going to get people to opt into your database? Think about valuation tools. You've probably already got one on your website, but get it driving traffic to your CRM. Start thinking about how you can get people to opt in for things, maybe write guides or downloads. Maybe you've got a video series you could provide them with. Have you ever thought about running a seminar or webinar? That's the number one database tool out there right now. So number one, get a CRM. Number two, start to find ways to drive traffic to it. And every landlord you talk to, what do you do, guys? You drop them onto the database. All right, that's the first thing you've got to do. Number three, what you need to do is you need to segment the audience. Now, what do I mean by that? Landlord's a landlord, isn't it, Sally? Okay, what I mean is not all landlords are the same. Think about it. You're going to be sending some emails to these people. You've got some landlords that haven't bought a property yet, or they're an investor landlord and they want to buy more property. The sort of things you talk to them about will be very different, like hot properties, properties we recommend you buy, what we're looking for, what biggest tenant demand is at the moment, will be very different to a let-only landlord with a big portfolio that is probably getting himself in the mire because he doesn't understand legislation. So he wants legislation, compliance, education, and information. So we need to segment that audience to make sure that we're sending the right message to the right people. So number one, CRM. Number two, ways to fill the database. And number three, segmenting the audience. All right, number four, what we need to do is we need to build a nurture sequence, okay? I'm talking marketing speak to you, but basically what this is just basically a series of email. If you think about the thousands of emails you send every single day, what we want you to do here is to create a nurture sequence for the investor landlords, property of the week, properties we recommend, biggest demand for right now, highest rent increases right now, a sequence for the let-only landlords, legislation, compliance, prosecutions, fines, banning orders, things you need to be aware of, how to stay safe, etc., etc. And then the fifth thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we have a way to convert them. Because there's no point just having loads of people on your database just sitting there with you emailing and educating them. Guys, we're a business, we need to convert them. So how do you do that? You've got to look at ways that you can get them closer to you. So you want to get them on the phone, you want to get them in a meeting, you want to get them in a seminar, you want to get them watching or consuming your stuff for a longer period of time so they know, like, and trust you more so you can bring them closer. So you need some conversion mechanisms and conversion tools, and there is so many things you can do to convert them. So there we are, guys, my 5 top tips to building a database and how you can beat 90% of the letting agents out there right now. I am gobsmacked that letting agents are not doing this. It is the #1 thing you can do to absolutely transform your business. And hey, if you enjoyed this, I want to tell you about something. We're actually running a 3-day event, absolutely totally focused on stuff like this and so much more. ARX Mastery, you're not going to miss it. We've kept it really low cost because we want to reach as many letting agents as we possibly can, because we recognize that right now letting agents are so falling short in hugely valuable areas. So click on the link below, go and find out a little bit more about it. I hope to see you soon, but get that database built, so important. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.